What's up, guys? Got an Atlas news video for you. Gonna try and bring these back. And yeah, this is a pretty cool patch. We got the new ship, and also, which is the turtle ship you can see here, and also spiders can now climb stuff, which is pretty awesome. We'll go through the patch notes in a minute, but let's check out the new video. I've not actually used the spider yet, but they do look really cool. I do like the look of them. I mean, look at that. That is so cool. Oh, yeah. Look at that. That's so cool. Oh, I can't wait to have a go on one. Introducing turtle ships. Yeah, I've said before, I don't really like the modular ships, as in I don't like the building of them. I much prefer to build a ship from the ground up, but this looks awesome. Look at it. That is so cool. Really, really do like the look of that. It's fighting the Kraken there. Look at it. Absolute unit. Yeah, really, really impressed. I wish they'd showed the smoke screen, but okay. Definitely want to have a play on them. Looks wicked. That was wicked. The turtle ship looks awesome. The spiders look great. That looks really good fun. Not had a chance to play around with Eva yet, but might have to sort that out. But yeah, let's get into the patch notes. As always, we'll start with the message that they leave for us on the patch notes, and there will be timestamps in the description, in the comments, if you just want to skip straight to the actual patch notes themselves. But let's get into it. Ahoy Pathfinders, well, the last journey abroad has been a rough go out on the open seas, but we braved through and preserved and finally arrived, carrying a long-awaited cargo for all Pathfinders to enjoy. Jump into the stage. First, we've made adjustments to our favourite arachnid to allow our Pathfinders to traverse to new heights. Spiders are now able to spend their stamina to carry Pathfinders vertically up steep terrain and jump higher and further than before. We can't wait to see where you and your spider companions end up. As teased previously, make her maiden voyage into the world of Atlas. The turtle ship brings new defensive options for you and your crew. Does look wicked. That looks really cool. I do like the look of it. Not only is she a tank, fully decked out in armour and ready to take a beating, but she also offers some new utility that will change the landscape of the battlefield. Literally. Attached to the front of this massive ship is a dragon figurehead that players can activate to breathe clouds of smoke to conceal your fleet's movements. We heard you like buffs, so we've also added some buffs to buff towers to uniquely assist your fleet as needed, depending on which type of resource is used. Buff towers will now provide an additional benefit so you can gain advantages where they are needed most. Need some handles in the corners? Try Amethyst and Herkimer, I can never pronounce that, in your spire to increase your turning force. Need some handles in the corners. Does that just mean better handling in the corners, maybe? I'm not too sure. Need to lessen your load, switch to calcite and quartz, which will decrease the overall weight of a ship. Items and structures carried included. That's really cool. I do like this little system they've come up with. I think that's pretty cool that you can do this now. Give yourself a little buff. Not sure how balanced it is or whatever, but it's a cool idea. I hope it just works. I mean, it'd be unlikely it works properly straight away, right? But sounds cool. Overall, we hope that Pathfinders use these new additions to complement their unique playstyles and make every confrontation a unique and memorable one. Rate up event. Finally, in addition to some major bug fixes to improve the game state, we'll be holding a rate up event until September the 6th. 4 times gold, 4 times taming, 5 times harvesting, 5 times XP. So grab your crew and take advantage of these high rates while you can. As always, we, the Atlas team, appreciate your support, and next time, may your skies be clear, waters calm, and sails full in whichever way you roam. That boost up rate is obviously for official. Released patch notes, let's go. V5 28.13 hotfix. Bug fixes. Fixed instances in which certain fertilized eggs would crash Xbox users. Fixed issue with mouse placement on the turtle ship. Fixed issue where C4 range buff was incorrectly calculated in percentage to buff. V28.11, which was the original patch with the new content. The climbing spider. Spiders can now traverse vertical surfaces. Climbing will cost the spider stamina. When depleted, the spider will release and fall. Spiders can move faster, as well as jump higher and further than before. It's a really nice like little rework of the Spider. That I think that's pretty cool. New modular ship, turtle ship. The advanced shipyard's inventory is expanding. The latest buildable ship, the turtle ship, comes affixed with armoured plates, armoured canopy railings, and a dragon figurehead which breathes smoke to conceal your movements during combat. Cost 22,000 gold and 150 chitin. Weapons 20 standing cannons, max level 60, sale points 3. Repair resource, armour patch kit or patch kit. The figurehead of the turtle ship has the ability to create a smoke screen. The smoke screen is activated from the steering wheel using Shift Z, LB and right D-pad on Xbox. The cost is 100 coal per smoke screen created. Coal must be stored in the figurehead. Really cool. I don't know how well it'll work, but it's really cool. New weapon type, Mechanic's Hammer, a new tool introduced that allows the repair and replacement of armour on the turtle ship. Learned through the advanced tool skill, buildable in the smithy, cost fibre, thatch and metal. New patch kit type, armor patch kit. A new type of patch kit used to repair and replace armor on the turtle ship. Learn for the advanced ship maintenance skill. Ship must be fully green anchored to replace armor plates. Buildable in the smithy. Costs fibre, wood, thatch and metal. New decor. New base decorations have been added. Add some plants to your bases with the new wall planter and hanging planter. Unlocked via the secrets of building skill in the construction and mercantilism skill tree, and constructed in the smithy under the folder Path Structures MISC. Pretty cool. About time they had some decorations added. I'm sure there's more important things they could work on, but I'll take it. I like it. They also added a box planter, wooden planter box that can connects directly to walls, a hanging planter, a round planter that hangs off support beams connected to walls. Buff tower updates. Using a unique type of resources as fuel, players can choose a second buff within the category to use. Each type of buff will be tied to the resource used when activating the buff tower. All unique resource types will grant the generic buff in addition to the unique buff. These towers have blueprint variants which increase the effectiveness of the generic buffs given. Buff icons for these buffs are shown when on a ship at the top right hand corner of the screen. Pretty cool. Industrial generator. Use generic and unique types of coal. Generic coal will grant ship damage reduction buff as normal. Sulfur and peat will grant a buff that increases the reload speed for weapons built on ships. Graphite and anthracite, I think that is, will grant a buff that increases the speed at which you repair your ships. Niter and lignite will grant a buff which allows the AI controlling weapons on your boat to have greater range. That's pretty cool actually. I like that. I really need to have a play of these. I wonder if they're on Radioactive. Obviously I'm playing on Radioactive server now if you didn't know. I don't play official anymore. Army of the Damned Pylon uses generic and unique types of hide carotenoid. Generic hide and carotenoid will grant a ship weapon damage buff. Scale, rhino horn, chitin and shell will grant a buff that increases the impact damage of your ship. Wool, leather, fur and carapace will grant a buff that increases the rate of experience gained for your ship. Bone residue, pelt, hair and skin will grant a buff that will reduce the cooldown of feats that impact ship combat. Reload, overdrive, repair fiend and rally the troops. Oh, okay, right. Right, so the industrial generator and army of damned pylons are the buffs. Oh, and the Atlantean Spire down here. Okay. So the generic use, the generic resource for the industrial generator will grant the ship damage reduction buff. And then if you use one of the secondary resources, you'll get a secondary buff. I think this is right. So you can have damage reduction plus increase reload speed for weapons, or damage reduction plus increase the speed of which you repair, or damage reduction plus the AI controlling weapons on your boat have greater range. Yeah, I think that's how that works. That's what it sounds like. So then the Army of Damned's generic buff is ship weapon damage, and then you can use a secondary resource to add an additional buff, which could be increase the impact damage of your ship, increase the rate of experience, or reduce the cooldowns of feats. I could be wrong on that. I'm going to have a play around with it, but that's what that sounds like to me. Atlantean Spire uses generic and unique types of crystal. Its generic crystal will grant a buff to ship speed. And then you can also use Amethyst and Herkimer will grant a buff which will increase the turning force of your ship. Calcite and Quartz will grant a buff that decreases the overall weight of a ship. Items and structures carried included. Pearl and Tellurite will grant a buff which decreases the rate at which your boat will sink. Definitely need to have a play around with that and see how it definitely works, but it does sound like you get the generic buff plus an additional. That's what that sounds like. I might be misreading that, but that's what it sounds like to me. Bug fixes. Fix multiple instances in which character progression was rolled back. Fixed instances in which certain fertilized eggs would crash Xbox users. Fixed instances of circumventing company joining cooldown. Fix the bug where certain modules could not be painted. That's cool. So does that mean you can actually fully paint a moduled ship now? Have to try that out as well. Fix the bug where cannonballs and mortar shots were not visually exploding. Fix the bug with the ballista inventory. Single player. Fixed instances in which shipyards and armored docks were disappearing. Fix the bug with modular ship sailing physics for smoother visuals while sailing. Someone messaged me recently about this bug of the shipyards and docks disappearing, and that was the first time I'd heard about it. So it is obviously a widespread bug, that, and apparently they fixed it. So hopefully that's working properly now for anyone having that issue. Miscellaneous. Change Puckle Tower firing particles to be less garish. Redux performed on mortar ships appearance. Redux on multiple resource icons, which were duplicated for other resources. And final note, as always, Atlas is early access. Blah de blah de blah. Things will change. There you go. Well, that's a pretty cool patch. I'm pretty impressed, at least with first impression of the turtle ship and the climbing spider. I think that's really cool. Definitely want to have a play with that. But yeah, there you go, guys. I'm going to start trying to do these again. I've had so many messages about whether I was, completely stopped or whatever recently. And a lot of people messaging me about the Atlas News things. A lot of people actually do find this very useful. So I'm going to keep trying to do it. I was saying to someone yesterday that if I don't do these, I don't keep up with what's going on with Atlas. So if nothing else, I'm going to do it for myself. But yeah, a few of you have messaged me about this, and I do appreciate the kind words and stuff like that you guys have sent me. And yeah, I'll bring it back, and I'll try and do a catch-up video. So we'll try and do like a review of the patches between this one and the last patch that I've done a video for, and just mention maybe some of the major points that were released there, some of the new content updates and things like that. I'll see what I can do, but anyway, I'm definitely going to try and do these as new patches come out. The only thing I will say is, previously when I was doing this, I'd always try and make sure I could get it done as soon as the patch dropped, and it really stressed me out. Because it would 9 times out of 10 it would drop the first day I go back to work, and it would just be annoying. So yeah, when I get the chance to go through the patch note and make a little video, I will do it. I will try and do it obviously as close to the release of the patch as possible, but that won't always be guaranteed. But yeah, like I said, a few of you had messaged me about it and find it very useful, and yeah, so I'll try my best to keep up with it, and maybe do a little review of the ones we've missed. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled for that. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope it was helpful. If it was, give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I will see you next time. Cheers.